Ahoy there, travelers! Welcome to the Copper Fox Inn. Yar! Come on in, landlubbers, take a seat and join us as we discuss homebrew for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. My name do be Thomas, the human bard, and I am joined by me first mate.
I do be Mercy, the tiefling wizard.
And...
Oh no, the half-orc, wait a minute.
Why are you dressed like that? Oh no, you've got a tuxedo and little plastic teeth in your mouth.
We told you it was pirate night.
You said it was dress up night again. I hate this.
I think Bean has been stealing your RSVPs and swapping them around.
Maybe. This makes most sense.
Travelers, if you have a homebrew you'd like us to discuss on the show, send it to us at our email, thecopperfoxinn@gmail.com, on social media at thecopperfoxinn, or comment it down below. While you're down there, remember to like the video, and please subscribe to the channel to ensure that we make future homebrew discussion content. If you like the channel, it means a lot if you subscribe.
This week, mateys, I do be bringing an otherworldly patron for the Warlock. The Ghost Ship.
Ooh, the whole ship.
That was a foghorn sound that I just made with my mouth.
This do be posted by user Dingo Chungus.
On r/Unearthed Arcana on Reddit. We'll link it in the description below. And that's a great, thank you.
I strive to have such a good username ever in my life.
Unbelievable.
I hope that they attempt to live up to it every day. This is an otherworldly patron, the Ghost Ship. You have made a pact with one of the lost ships crewed by listless dead that wander the seas. Sailors see these ships, such as the Flying Dutchman or Ship of 100, as portents of doom. But even in death, the cursed crew and their damned captain, I don't know, I'm making them all two syllables, retain a fierce love of their vessel, the one home known to their forsaken souls. The loyalty shared by captain, crew, and ship pierces the veil between life and death and grants you your power. Whether you are a member of the drowned crew sent alone...
Did you mean drowned crew?
Nice. Thanks
Drowned.
for jumping on that as fast as you could. I appreciate it.
You're making them all two syllables.
A member of the drowned crew sent alone on a mission, or a stowaway who chose an unfortunate vessel, or a sailor rescued from a watery grave.
You guys
the
are
dead men
giving
follow
me a stroke. I am having a stroke.
The
Because
dead
of
men follow you everywhere, and the spectral ship itself powers your spells. Expanded spells. The Ghost Ship lets you choose from an expanded list of spells when you learn a Warlock spell. So you get Dissonant Whispers, Fog Cloud, Gust of Wind, Silence, Conjure Barrage. Conjure Barrage?
I think
Is that
that's
a real spell?
it's one of the newer ones. I think it's not the Volley Strike. That's
Conjure
that's a
Volley,
ranger spell.
5th level.
Yeah.
Speak with Dead, Ice Storm, Phantasmal Killer, Conjure Volley, Control Winds. Maybe those are from an expansion that I'm unfamiliar with?
Conjure Volley is a ranger spell, and that's why nobody knows about it. But
The
Conjure
cleverest
Barrage...
way to hide a spell from the community. Give it to the ranger.
I gotta say, we always joke about nobody playing rangers, but I just saw a breakdown of the most common character creations of D&D Beyond, and the second most common was Elf Ranger.
It's true, yeah.
So,
People play
there's
them.
probably a lot of people who listen to us and are like,
How dare you?
I'm a
Well,
ranger. We're all rangers.
the true criticism of the ranger comes from the Beastmaster subclass.
Yeah.
But that just only drew more, because that's one of the things is like, as far as objective power level.
Look. We can't get into rangers
can't-
right
we
now.
can't do
We got
this
a
again.
whole
We can't
subclass
do
to
this
get
again.
through. We can't do this
Anyways,
again.
so transitioning back to what we were talking about, I actually really love the idea of just kind of a ghost ship being the patron, because it could have been like, it's the captain is your patron, but it's the entire ship, crew, and captain. And I just love this concept of they have been together in undeath for so long that they have just kind of conglomerated into one entity. part of the crew, part of the ship kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also really enjoy in some like horror fiction the concept of like the malevolent like inanimate objects.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the building itself is evil.
Is the
it's not
ghost,
as if there's an
yeah.
evil person in it. It's like the building wants to kill you.
yeah.
It's like the ship itself has this innate like power within it and this innate presence. There's a few, I think there's like a famous movie about a ghost ship that's like the ship itself is the villain of the movie.
Well,
and it's
that-
hard to represent that, but it's a cool concept.
Well, like that's a trope that has been done a lot. Like the Haunting of Hill House is one of them.
Yeah.
The Event Horizon with Sam Neill.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of 90s kids will remember the Cartoon Network reimagining of Johnny Q. The Adventures of Johnny Q, where they go to a haunted house, and that messed me up as a kid. So, yeah, let's talk about something else.
It also is really fitting with kind of pirate lore, the idea of your loyalty and your bond to a ship and its crew and its captain all as one entity that you can't get away from no matter how far you run. Like, you are tied to this ship.
Definitely. All right, so Haunted Hull. Starting at first level, you can manifest mist-edged fragments of the ghost ship on the battlefield, crewed by ethereal spirits with wispy skeletons and translucent flesh. You can use an action to manifest parts of the ship as one of the following effects, which lasts for 1 minute. Once you manifest one of these effects, you can't use this feature again until you finish a short or a long rest. So you can summon your crow's nest. You manifest a single undead lookout high above you. While you aren't deafened, you know the location of every creature within 120 feet of you, including those that are hidden, invisible, or on the ethereal plane.
Ooh.
He can see ghosts, because he's a ghost.
Now, it says,
I love that.
It says that you summon an undead lookout high above you. It doesn't explicitly say you bring a crow's nest with you when you summon it.
Sure.
So
yeah,
I'm
but
just
in the flavor
imagining
text
the
before.
Sea of Thieves-esque glitch of like sometimes it brings a spooky crow's nest and sometimes there's just a skeleton standing 120 feet above you.
That's great.
He just is up there. No obvious structure holding him there.
He's just kind of walking in place while he moves.
Just what happens to me every time I fast travel after putting like 300 mods on my Skyrim game.
Yeah, exactly.
The horse
playing
glitches
Dragon
and you
Age.
fly across the room.
You were playing Dragon Age Inquisition the other day, and your party members were just falling from the sky over and over again. Yeah, very good. Possessed rigging. You manifest spectral ropes, which lash out at a creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw against your Warlock spell save DC, or be restrained by ropes. A restrained creature can use its action to make a strength check against your Warlock spell save DC, freeing itself on a success. It doesn't list a like HP or AC for the ropes, so if you could cut them, but it does specifically say restrained by ropes, but then it says they're spectral ropes, so I'm not sure
If you can
there's-
just cut out or if
if
it
you can
has
just
to
cut
be
them
the
or if you
DC.
must, yeah, because if it's more of a magical effect, cutting doesn't matter. If it's supposed to be also their real ropes, then you could also theoretically just cut your way or burn your way out, because ropes in the player's handbook have like a given HP. They can take so much damage before they break.
Right.
What's the word?
Well,
They
and like
take twice as much fire damage.
yeah, or something with like vines and stuff.
Vulnerable.
Whenever there's vines involved, there's usually some discussion of or like vines and like spider webbing and stuff. There's usually discussion of like if you can't break out, you can always just damage the ropes enough that they
Yeah.
come loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not sure exactly. For now, we'll assume that it's just a
yeah.
magical effect you have to hit the DC for.
But like entangle and stuff like that doesn't really have that.
Yeah.
So this isn't unprecedented.
Stolen gusts. You
My nickname in high
manifest
school.
that. Stolen gusts? No, just stolen Gus. That was your name in high school.
I was kidnapped as a baby. My name used to be Gus.
My name was Gus. Then I was kidnapped. Then I was known as Stolen Gus.
Gosh.
You manifest the tattered masts of the ghostly ship, which drain the wind out of your enemy's sails. Your speed increases by 10 feet, and each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw against your Warlock spell save DC. On a failed save, its speed is reduced by 10 feet for 1 minute.
Nice.
So you get faster and they get slower. Ha ha ha.
So it's kind of like an area control Warlock, because all of these abilities either have area denial or like resource control in movement kind of a thing. So that's very interesting.
I really like it. I like the flavor of it because these could just be effects, but the fact that you're sort of like through like some sort of portal or whatever, like bringing parts of your ship into reality to make the effects happen, I really enjoy the flavor.
It's
behind
like you are bringing this dead thing with you, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice. Very nice.
Learn from our mistakes. Starting at first level, the crewmen of the ghost ship pass some of their nautical knowledge onto you.
I just read
You
what
gain-
it gives you.
Yeah, you gain the following benefits. You gain proficiency with navigators, tools, and vehicles, water vehicles.
We never knew how to use any of these. That's why we crashed.
Oh, now we will teach you. If you spend 1 minute examining an item, you can determine whether or not it is cursed.
I wish I had that.
Oh man.
If only we'd checked first. That stolen treasure chest really got us in the end.
I have a pirate character in a game that we're playing right now, and my like whole MO is having like a -1 to Arcana checks, constantly doing
If
Arcana
you're-
checks, no matter what I'm told saying it's cursed.
If you're pirate paladin,
Yeah.
eventually multi-classed into ghost ship warlock, I would be so down for
Dude, that could totally happen too.
And then I think everybody would start, like, I think 2 other people already have levels in warlock, so
all warlock party.
Everyone's secretly a warlock the party.
everyone's been multi-classing into warlock the party.
We gotta make that happen.
Bosun's Lash. There was a clarification from the author that this is intended to be as a bonus action. Starting at 6th level as a bonus action, you can conjure a spectral sailor to assist a creature of your choice within 15 feet of you. The next attack roll or ability check that creature makes before the start of your next turn has advantage.
Oh. Wait, so
Guess
does
who's-
this not have
Guess
a...
who's always within 15 feet of you? It's you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this also doesn't have a usage limit, so you can just spam this.
Yeah.
But it is only for 1 attack. So it's basically you have bonus action help that you can apply to yourself, kind of like the Mastermind Rogue.
Mastermind
a little
Rogue.
bit.
Yeah, definitely. It's very similar to that.
As
So
a
that's
6th
actually
level
not
ability,
that
that's
broken.
not bad.
No. And it's within 15 feet. Mastermind Rogues get it to 30 feet or whatever, 60 feet if they eventually do that. So it's like, it's a version of that ability, but it's also,
Yeah.
I really enjoy the flavor of like, one of the sailors comes off of the pieces of ship you've brought and they like stand behind you and they're like, look out! And then you make your attack with advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Helping you out. Part of the crew, part of the ship. Eternal Sailor. Starting at 10th level, you gain some traits of the vessel's ghostly crew. You are immune to poison and disease, and no longer need to breathe. Instead of swimming, you can sink to the bottom of a body of water at a rate of 60 feet per round,
That's fast.
moving at the start of your turn. Additionally, being underwater doesn't impose disadvantage on your attacks, you ignore difficult terrain caused by being underwater, and you are immune to the effects of water pressure and murky water. So you become like an underwater absolute tank. Like you
Yeah.
Yeah.
become so good underwater.
You
Other
literally
people would
gain
need
no
multiple
negative
magical items or magical spells
Oh, yeah.
at once to be all the things you can be underwater.
That's really cool.
I do kind of like the wording, though. Instead of swimming, you can sink to the bottom of a body of water. And it's like...
Yeah, any
wait.
of us can if
I
we
mean,
try hard
that-
enough.
You're not special.
But I mean, if you're going to be spending any amount of your campaign going to some sort of underwater kingdom or cave or anything, like
You become the
immediately
boss,
become the
yeah.
coolest member of the party, yeah. In another campaign, the party is about to go to the Sahagwin village beneath,
Yeah.
beneath the coast, and somebody like this would be very useful.
Very.
Skeleton Crew. Starting at 5th level, you can use an action to summon the entire crew to fight at
Whoa!
your side. A skeleton crew appears in an unoccupied space that you can see within 60 feet of you. These undead are friendly to you and follow your commands, acting on their own initiative and persist for 1 hour. or until you lose your concentration, as if you were concentrating on a spell. The statistics for the skeleton crew are provided on the next page. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
I like to think that where it says that they are friendly to you, it means literally like, oh, hey, friend. Like,
Oh, hey, Carl!
oh, did you do something with your hair? It looks great.
Oh, what's up, dude? Oh, we're fighting Tarasques, huh? All right.
Did you check if that chest was cursed? You know what happened to us.
We care about you, man.
we told you to check, okay? We care about you. That's very good. Skeleton crew. So it's like a gargantuan horde of medium undead.
Oh, no.
That's so cool.
It's gargantuan.
It's like in Lord of the Rings, just the whole
Oh,
army.
yeah, Aragorn's undead army, yeah. Armor class 13, armor scraps. Hit points 175. A 30-foot speed, 30-foot swim speed. They have dark vision to 60 feet, passive perception of 9, vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. I'd assume because they're skeletons. Damage immunities, poisoned. Conditional immunities, charmed, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, stunned, unconscious, because I believe this is basically treating them as a swarm.
Yeah, swarms of creatures are usually immune to these things
Immune to
because you
all of
can't
those
knock
things.
them all down. So.
Yeah. Languages, understands all languages that spoke in life, but can't speak. Oh, so I guess
Oh,
they're not
they
like,
can't
hey,
speak.
Carl. They're more like,
No, they can sign language.
oh yeah, they know sign language.
Okay, nice.
Every
You okay,
skeleton
dude?
crew takes an ASL course.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Challenge rating 5, which, but, okay. It's a horde. The crew can occupy another creature's space and vice versa. The horde can move through any opening large enough for a medium skeleton. Additionally, the crew is immune. The crew is immune to any spell. Any spell or effect that would alter its form. They cannot be polymorphed. Yeah, any opening large enough for a medium skeleton. Not a medium creature.
Not a medium creature,
A
but
medium
if it could
skeleton.
fit a skeleton. Ooh.
Now we're talking.
Guys, I'm so
Reactive.
glad we're reading this for Skeleton Awareness Month.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There is a
Awareness
skeleton
Week.
right behind you.
Where we're all uncomfortably aware of our own skeletons
Yes.
all month long.
You can feel them, can't you?
Ew.
Deep inside.
No.
Reactive. The crew can take one reaction on every turn in combat.
Nice.
Is that not a?
Nope, that's a
Is that
thing.
not always implied?
No. No, they can take a reaction on every turn in combat.
Oh, not just on their turn.
No,
Oh,
not just
okay.
once per round. Every
Right,
turn they
right,
get a
right.
reaction.
I see. So they okay, that makes some like because they're a horde. If you're triggering opportunity attack, the
Different
flavor
ones
is
of
different
them.
skeletons are attacking.
Yeah,
I get
different
it,
skeletons
I get
are
it.
attacking.
Anyone who didn't follow that, normally you can take a reaction every
Once per
round
round.
on your turn.
Well,
No, not on your
once
turn.
Per
Well,
round.
once per round, but the flavor is like because you get one turn per round.
Right.
Whereas,
It comes back on your.
yeah. Whereas the crew can take once on everybody's
Because
turn.
it's like 30 dudes taking a turn.
Technically, it's also not even one reaction per round. It's once you take a reaction, you cannot take another until the start of your
Right.
next turn.
which
But you could take
typically
one.
would be the next round.
Yeah, but you could take one right before your turn starts, and then take one right after your turn ends, and
Yeah.
they'd only be like one turn apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it comes back on your turn. Turn resistance. The crew is that's when you make resistance run away from you.
You are immune to turns.
Oh, that's actually probably what it is.
Yeah, I'm
no.
sure that is.
The crew has advantage on saving throws against any effect that turns undead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Additionally, the crew can be affected by the destroy undead feature regardless of CR limits, but has advantage on the saving throw against it and is not destroyed on a failed save. Instead, it takes radiant damage equal to 5 times the cleric's level on a failed save or half as much damage on a success.
Okay.
That is a corner case.
That
Yeah,
is
that's interesting.
Also, the wording got a little confusing, but I guess because technically destroy undead and turn undead are different abilities.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
correct.
It has
The
to be
Destroy
worded like
Undead
that.
is an ability for a cleric. Yeah. Yes. Interesting.
I think it's because they're trying to make accommodations for it being a horde. So it's like what would normally kill one creature shouldn't
Shouldn't
annihilate
just
an entire
take this
army.
guy out. Yeah.
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 I appreciate that work, though, the effort that goes into that corner
Yeah.
case.
It's clever.
Good work. Actions. So they have multi-attack. They can make 4 attacks or 2 attacks if they have less than if they have half their hit points or fewer, which is how most swarms work.
Yeah.
They lose some kind of attack or multi-attack or whatever if they lose their hit points. Cutlasses, so they have cutlasses to attack, which are like +6 to hit. Pistols, which are +5 to hit. And then they have the volley ability. The crew fires a barrage of pistol shots at a point within 120 feet of it. Each creature of the crew's choice must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 28 or 8d6 piercing damage, or 14 4d6 piercing damage if the crew has half its hit points or fewer. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage. I love the volley where you can be like fired. That's
Very cool.
My visual image though is like you're imagining like Pirates of the Caribbean-esque of like fire, go, and I'm just imagining one dude on a ship and all the skeletons just point their guns at him at once and just
He takes 28 piercing damage. Oof. Yikes. So, you might think, wow, that's a lot. Oh, we're not done yet.
We
There
got
are
more.
invocations. We got a couple more. We got some invocations here. At second level, a Warlock gains their Eldritch Invocation feature. Here are some options for that feature. Some of them have
I
prerequisites.
almost forgot this was a warlock and not just like a monster stab line.
Yeah,
it's
a
got
lot
a little
going
bit of
on here.
everything.
it's really good. It's very fun, very well designed. So your first Eldritch Invocation has no prerequisites. Buried Treasure. You can pinpoint the location of precious metals and stones, such as coins, gems, and jewelry, within 60 feet of you, even if you can't see or smell the material.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very.
You can
I
just
like
be
that.
walking along the beach, and then your DM is like, your buried treasure invocation goes off, and you're like, huh! Guys.
You're just a
Wait, how does
bloodhound
this
for
work?
money.
Yeah.
Do mimics actually have treasure?
Some of them do.
Inside of them?
Yeah,
I was
some
like,
of
yeah,
them do have
would you
treasure
be able
inside
to
of them.
tell, wait, no, that's just a mimic. I don't sense actual treasure.
It might be a hint, at least, you could look for. Yeah. Interesting.
Or it's one of those things where you're like, there is no treasure beyond this door. Let's not waste our time. All right, next door.
Yeah.
You know?
It also makes you a great pickpocket.
Because you know who's got the money.
You know who's got the most money.
And exactly where it is.
Yeah. What's the weirdest thing that they've got a lot of jewelry in their shoes. Just like, what's the weirdest
Elaborate
thing?
toe rings.
a
Yeah.
lot of,
They've got a lot of
toe rings.
a lot of gems, but all of their gems are inside of like their left back pocket. Why do they have a lot of gems in their
What
left
is that
back?
doing
What
back
are they
there?
doing?
They're just wearing a jewel encrusted mankini, so you know it just wraps around.
Nice. Captain's Parrot.
Nice.
Prerequisite Pact of the Chain. Your familiar gains the ability to speak, read, and write 2 languages of your choice.
Nice!
It also learns the Vicious Mockery cantrip, which it casts using your Warlock spell save DC. When determining the spell's damage, your familiar is considered a spellcaster of the same level as you.
That's
Wow.
so good.
Pretty good.
That's fantastic.
I love that, man. That's so good. The best part is if it isn't a bird.
If it's just like a weasel.
Yeah, just like any other
It's just a rude
familiar.
closet.
A rude closet.
Hey,
Hey, like a cast vicious mockery and somebody like, oh, look at this guy over here, Mr. Balloon Hands. Collector of Curses. Don't worry about it. Collector of Curses, prerequisite, 5th level. And that's, remember, 5th level in Warlock, not just 5th level overall. You have to take 5 levels of Warlock, and then you get Collector of Curses as an option for your invocations. Cursed magic items don't count against the total number of items you can attune to. Ooh. You can attune to as many cursed objects as you'd like.
That's great.
that's actually not bad because the main
Isn't it so good? Yeah.
the main drawback, because there are various different drawbacks of different cursed items, but like the main drawback of cursed items is you cannot unattune from them on purpose. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you do, you can go around and like there's the armor where it's like this is really good armor, but you
can
can't
never take it
But you
off.
can't take it off as long as the curse is on you, and you're like, yeah, I don't care, cool.
Sweet. Sounds great. I love this. That makes it almost sort of like a roguelike run, like an Enter the
Where
Gungeon
you like
or something
intentionally
like that.
take items that have negative side effects, but because of you counteract some of the negative parts of
Yeah.
it.
Because you can keep getting other better magical items that kind of balance out some of the downsides. Yeah, that's kind of sweet. I really like it.
That's funny.
I really like that from a design perspective too, because it's a really cool place to work in, because the attunement slots are like clearly like a power level capping mechanic, where it's like you can only attune to 3 things, because if you could just attune to whatever, everyone just has their own book of exalted deeds, and they just spam sunlight on people that they have at 20th level because of yada yada yada, But this is like, no, we aren't breaking that in a sense. We are allowing you to counteract some of the negative side effects of something else. And I really like that.
I love how it pairs with your ability to know if a thing is cursed. Because then you're like, yeah,
Cool,
guys,
free.
it's cursed. Yeah, you're like, it's cursed. I'll take it. And then you just put it in your pocket. Like, look, no one else take it. You'll get cursed. And they're like, it doesn't make you immune from the curses. And you're like, yeah, I know. As you like put the necklace on and your eyes turn black.
That's great.
Yeah, really good. Nautical charts. Prerequisite Pact of the Tome. So long as you can see a body of water, you know your current location and the distance and direction to the nearest area of civilization, such as a fort, village, or town that can safely feed and house you and creatures traveling with you.
I think it's funny that it's you have to see a body of water. It isn't like you know how to navigate by the stars. It's like you know how to navigate by
the
water.
ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it only
By
works
your
if your
nautical
toes.
charts.
It only works if your toes are wet.
Yeah, if you dip your toes. The vibe of it would be like your Pact of the Tome is normally a black book or like a scroll with like demonic writing on it or something like that. And so this is like, no, your Pact of the Tome is just a series of nautical charts which you can use to find your location by like pulling out a compass and like going, aha, I know where we are.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I really like that. And the final one, Quartermaster's Stockpile. Prerequisite, Pact of the Blade. When you would summon your pact weapon, you can instead summon one piece of adventuring gear of your choice, so long as it isn't a piece of adventuring gear that is consumed when used. This piece of gear vanishes, reforms, and otherwise follows the same rules as your pact weapon.
So if you're like, oh gosh, we need a crowbar to get our way out of here, and you're like, well, guess what I have?
We need 50 feet of hempen rope, and you're like, ha 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 ha. I always have it on me.
That reminds me of the conjuration wizard ability to just make an object for like a minute or something or whatever it is to show up in your hand.
This is very limited in that it's specifically quote-unquote adventuring gear, which is its own section of the player's handbook, which is like you have just those options, but a lot of those are better than something that could fit in the palm of your hand.
Right, because
like a
most
conjuration wizard.
limitations with conjuration or illusion are by size.
Yeah.
And so making it a category is interesting.
Yeah. So you can bring out any kind of adventuring gear like a lantern or whatever. That's like
A 10-foot pole.
yeah, 10-foot pole, 50 feet of
Ball
rope, all
bearings.
that kind of stuff, ball bearings. That's no problem at all. But it's like you can also use it like your pact weapon. So you can just make it appear, use it, make it go away again. Even if they take all your equipment off of you, you can just have it back again. I really like it.
Nice.
It also still, you normally have your pact weapon as well. It doesn't take that away from you.
I really like that most of these Eldritch Invocations are, like, some of them are power level stuff. Like, like being able to just wear cursed items and just it doesn't count. You can have as many as you want. There are some pretty powerful cursed items. But my favorite thing about most of these is that they are utility.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the most overlooked aspects of Warlocks, I think, especially in Eldritch Invocations, because people always just go for, the thing that makes them more powerful, that makes them more damage. But with these, it kind of helped shape the concepts that they were going for with this. Where it's like, no, like, you want to be useful, kind of like what we talked about before. You want your abilities to be used, and so, like, with these, it's just like, I don't think there's ever been a party that doesn't actually care about money. And it's like such a small thing, but you're just like, no, I know where money is always. Like,
Look,
yeah.
if we need money, I can get you some money.
I can find money. It's gonna be in that guy's pants, but it's money.
Yeah, I love it. I love that, like, going through all of this, not a single one of these abilities makes you deal more damage. None of them. Not even any of the invocation ones.
Yeah.
Like, all of them.
Technically
the
speaking,
skeleton crew summons a crew which deals damage, right?
And
But
also the Pact of the Chain, the parrot, can like spam.
Yeah.
he can do vicious mockery.
Basically, you
actually
can get a
feel-
free vicious mockery on your turn, which is actually pretty beneficial.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great example, though, of giving you the ability to deal damage without just saying you deal an extra D10
Right.
damage.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
making it interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But overall, this is very much a like controlling support utility warlock, which you
Yeah.
don't really get a lot of. Like,
Well, yeah, there is actually, upon reflection, there is one thing that is a little broken when you look at
and
it.
what is that?
The bosun's lash. With
Okay.
it not having a limitation or of any kind, really, other than something within 15 feet of you, I realize, especially because it applies to any attack or ability check a creature makes before the start of your next turn, that means every skill check this guy ever makes, because they can do it as a bonus action, will have advantage, always.
That's true.
And I think that's a little too much. There should either be a limitation, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what if it just needs to be like a charisma modifier number of times a day you can do it, because I don't want to
or
take
if
it.
it was only attack rolls.
Yeah,
Is
or
there
I don't
any
want
sort
to
of
take
limitation?
it away. I don't want to take
Yeah,
it
it-
away from being able to help you, the player, because it
That's
is
fair.
like your ghost buddy showing up to help you. If it only worked like the help action, so it only works on other people, then I think the flavor's a little lost, but that's also a potential direction that it can be taken. But that's really
For
the
sure.
only thing. It's like, no, for infinitum, this character will attack with advantage or use any skill check with advantage, and that's a little
That's a bit
busted.
much.
That's a little busted.
Yeah, you're right.
For
Yeah, I
no
think that's fair.
resources, yeah.
Yeah, I think
But-
that's fair. Adding some sort of a
Everything else
cost
is just
or a
about
limit.
perfect and delicious. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is great. I would use this. This is fun.
Oh yeah, if somebody tomorrow was like, "Hey, I want to try out this homebrew I found called the Ghost Ship Patron," I'd be like, "Yes, please." Actually, that sounds amazing. I personally love like piratey vibes and ocean campaigns, and I've always wanted to do a pirate campaign on a ship, like the whole 9 yards. This is exactly what I'm looking for. It hits all
yeah.
the right, it checks all my boxes, you know what I'm saying? Very good. Well, mateys, that do be the end of the episode. If you enjoyed listening, please like the video and remember to subscribe to the channel. Yarr. That's pretty good. Comment below with what you thought of the Otherworldly patron, the Ghost Ship. Let us know what parts of it you enjoyed the most and then what kind of a character you'd want to have take this option and how they'd be, what would their relationship to their ghost ship be? Obviously, it gives some options of like maybe you were the lone survivor of your crew, or maybe you were like bound in a deal with Davy Jones. Give us your pirate lore in the comments. And we want to thank Dingo Chungus once again for this great design. Thank you, Dingo Chungus. It's beautiful. We really enjoyed it. Keep up the good work. Keep creating.
And until next time, keep on adventuring, mateys.
Goodbye.
Avast.
Bleh.
Har.
Bleh.
Bleh.
I want to suck your blood and also dig for treasure.
Let us dig for treasure. Ian, there's nothing in the rules that say you can't have Transylvanian pirates.
That's true.
How would a pirate vampire sound? Yarr, mateys.
Yarr.
I am a pirate vampire.
So you just become
I
a drunken
I spent
Scotsman.
half my life in Transylvania and half of it in Scotland.
Have it on the open sea. Okay, we're done.